What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So in this particular video, I just want to clear something up when it comes to Oscar Robertson that I see some younger people say, and it's not true. And what that is now I've seen some people say, is Oscar really that great? Because you could argue, man, that he was just out there chasing triple doubles. He ain't really all that, man. What makes him different from Russell Westbrook? He was just a Russell Westbrook in the 1960s. Let me tell you something. That is the stupidest fucking thing you could ever say when it comes to Oscar Robertson. Now, I'm a guy that likes Russell Westbrook. But other than the fact that they both played hard and were able to rack up numbers, that's where the difference, that's where the similarities end, I should say. Um, Not that Oscar was a shutdown defender, but he was a better defender than Russell Westbrook. He was much more efficient. He was a better shooter, a more consistent shooter. He had a post game. As a matter of fact, Phil Jackson once said, because he played against Oscar and he coached Michael Jordan and he was going to coach Kobe Bryant. He said the two guards that had the best post game that he ever saw were Michael Jordan and Oscar Robertson. Oscar was bigger than Russ, stronger than Russ, had a much higher basketball IQ, took better care of the basketball. And he wasn't consciously going out there trying to get triple doubles. That was not a thing back then. That didn't really become a thing until the triple double. Like, yeah, they would mention it toward the end of his career or after he retired. Man, this guy had a season where he averaged a triple double. Man, this guy for the first 5 years of his career he averaged a triple double. But it wasn't until the years went on, 1975 into the 80s, and Magic Johnson came along and he flirted with a triple double one year. It might have been 81, 82. One of those years he flirted with a triple double. And he saw how hard it was. And Magic, when he came along, he was a guy that also registered a lot of triple doubles. That's when it started becoming like a stat that people really started following more. Magic Johnson, Larry Bird got triple doubles. Lafayette, Fat Lever got triple doubles before his career kind of fell apart. So that's when they started measuring that stat, and they looked and said, "Man, wow, Oscar had 181 triple doubles." But Oscar wasn't out there chasing triple doubles. That was his game. He was a fantastic scorer. He was incredibly efficient for the era, a great rebounding guard, and a great passing guard. Probably, in fact, he probably was the best passer of that era. You put all those things together, you got a guy that's going to get a lot of triple doubles. But a triple double didn't really become what it is today until Magic, and then now today there's such an impact, such a focus on it. You know, everybody focused on it. It's supposed to be like a measure of your versatility, where sometimes it's just the way the game is played today. It's so much easier to get triple doubles. There aren't centers down low constantly. So a lot of guys who handle the basketball a lot, they crash the boards, get a lot of defensive rebounds. They get, 7, 8, 9 defensive rebounds. Maybe all of them are defensive rebounds. They have the ball in their hands a lot, so they can score, um, facilitate, and lo and behold, you got a triple double. But they weren't playing basketball like that back then. They were a lot stricter as far as how they called what an assist was. There was no 3-point line. You had trees down low. So Oscar was getting his triple doubles in a more traditional manner, which is much more difficult. I can only imagine if you put Oscar Robertson in today's league with today's advances and the way they play today, he would have had a triple double almost every fucking night because of the way that he played. So that's all I'm saying, man. This thing about comparing Oscar to Russell Westbrook, please. The only similarity they have is that they got a lot of triple doubles and they both played hard. That's it. There's no other similarities really between the two. And not to mention, Oscar has a championship. Now, why doesn't he have more? Well, probably because in the 1960s, the best teams were the Lakers and the Celtics. They were the best teams. Yes, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor only won one finals, but they went to, well, West went to 9 of them. Baylor went to, what, 7 of them. So at the end of the day, excuse me, at the end of the day, man, they dominated the final scene. You know what I'm saying? They were the two best teams in the NBA almost every year. And the only other team to really make any smoke early on was the St. Louis Hawks. So Oscar was on a good team, but a team not good enough to go to the finals. And it should be noted that he's the only player in the 1960s, other than Wes Unseld, to win an MVP not named Bill Russell or Will Chamberlain. So that's all I got to say about that. Tell me what you guys think.